Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be all about how I store and kind of travel with my makeup. So I just recently got back from holiday doing a big wedding, and obviously I had to kind of take all my makeup abroad. And even this is just like a kind of handy video for people that even are doing weddings or like traveling to people's houses to do makeup, or generally just anybody that's kind of interested. I do have a lot of like storage tips and stuff like that that might help out people that are just wanting to kind of store their makeup differently. Or keep it kind of contained and less like scattered everywhere. So I'm just gonna, obviously if you're no makeup artist and you're not interested, then just click off. But I have had quite a few people on my Instagram ask me how I kind of take my makeup elsewhere and like what I use for like storage and like travelling, etc. So I'm just gonna jump straight in, and I'm gonna kind of angle the camera to show you my suitcase and how I all the little compartments and stuff. I'm gonna have to put it like on, I'm currently sitting on the floor, but I'm gonna have to aim it like over here so I can kind of show you it. Excuse my big natural no makeup face, but I didn't want to kind of slap on like a whole bunch of makeup to do this video, so it's just gonna be a kind of chit chatty thing anyway. So I'm gonna angle the camera. Right, so I'm gonna like zoom it out a tiny wee bit. I can't get the camera like right down like to the floor, but obviously I did do a little close up so you can see how kind of big it is. It's like quite a decent size. I wouldn't say it's like too big or too small, but it's amazing obviously how you've got the handle on it to pull it when you're travelling, because obviously all the makeup can be quite heavy. So to start with, you've got obviously like your big compartment which has got everything inside, but you do have all these kind of zippy compartments inside where you can store like little bits and bobs. So in like the little case at the front, in my little zip, I just take my business cards. So I kind of hand these out. So see if I'm in like a wedding venue or kind of anywhere, to be honest, so you can kind of just be like, oh, you want one of those? And like you can leave them places as well. So like obviously the worst someone can like say is no, but like I've never experienced someone be like, no, you can't, I can't take one of your business cards. So you can even just leave them in areas like such as wedding venues or hotels or just anywhere you are, and kind of leave them, and it's just like another way that people can notice you, I would say. So I take them in my little pouch. And you also have a zip here at the front, and I just keep little bags in here, like these ones, obviously just like your wee bit tiny bin liners. So these, I don't know why, but I always keep these with me, and obviously because I'm using my kitchen roll, I'm using like wipes, cotton pads, mascara wands. I'm like obviously making a lot of rubbish, and sometimes you don't want to overload someone else's bin, so I feel like it was just quite like a polite way to just kind of keep your own rubbish to yourself and then take it away with you as well and like dispose of it. So dispose. So yeah, I just like taking them with me because I feel like it's just like a little bit cleaner and like more helpful as well. But obviously I wouldn't say that's like a necessity, but that's something that I do. You also have your little compartments around the side. I don't actually have anything in these little bits. There's one on each side, but these bits do have your little compartments, and it's got netting in here. So again, you've just got like, honestly, this has just got so much space. It's class. And then for the big bit, hopefully not everything is going to fall out here, but I do like cram like majority of my stuff in here. But so it opens just like this, and then I have my brushes like kind of squished in here, and this comes like all these little compartments come with the case, which is amazing. So these just like are things you can keep like different kind of sections of your makeup in, and you also have this area down here with a bit of netting. So I just keep cotton pads, I keep them with me, hand sanitizer, this is just a little apricot hand sanitizer, Garnier micellar water wipes, and clips. So important to remember clips. Right, so I do obviously recommend taking clips with you, because obviously if you're there, sometimes there's going to be a hairdresser there as well, and then you're going to need to like move bits of the hair out the way, and sometimes like if someone has a front fringe or anything, it just gets in the way and you're going to end up getting foundation and cream and everything in their fringe, and it's not going to look bra. So I take clips, and I also take smaller Kirby grips and baubles, so I always have handy baubles. Everyone always needs a bauble. I usually carry these on my wrist and like scrunchies and stuff, but I always make sure I have like Kirby grips with me, because you feel like a lifesaver when people need Kirby's and you're like, I've got a box full of them. So that's kind of just what's like stuffed in that little pouch down the bottom. And then in the top I squeeze in my big set of brushes I obviously always take with me, because they're kind of an essential that I'm going to need. And then I'm just going to kind of yank everything out and then talk through what I've got and then show you like the back of the case. Right, so now that I've took everything out of the case, so when it comes, you get, obviously your case is like kind of empty, and then you've got like this bit that's like velcroed into the back, which is like so mental and like handy, especially because obviously I have like so many brushes, so obviously I need like a big huge brush holder. But if you're someone that doesn't actually, obviously if it's your own makeup and you don't have that much brushes or whatever and you just kind of want to store them, you can stick all your individual brushes like in here, like so you've got all your little sections down here as well that you can like, so there's 18 little bits, so you can hold 18 brushes in this, or if you've got like obviously smaller brushes you can squeeze them together. So I'd say like you can hold like in your range of like mid-20s brushes in this little bit, and then it literally has velcro in the back, so you can just stick it right there in the back of the suitcase. So that just sticks there and it's like there, it's stuck. So that's what's like in the case. And then obviously you get all of these holders, like compartments bits, and they're obviously come with it for the price as well. Oh, I've not even said how much it was. So I was checking on my phone because I ordered this like over like 2 years ago for my makeup. So I went onto my Amazon account to see if I could kind of track back to like over 2 years ago to see when I ordered it, because I can remember I did order it on my Amazon, and I feel like it was like, I feel like it was between £80 to £100. It was like one of those kind of marks. But obviously I use this all the time and I've had it for over 2 years and it's like so sturdy. There's never been like, I've never had a complaint about it. So for someone that uses, like if you're going to use it quite a lot, then I would say it's totally worth the money. But I couldn't find it on my Amazon. I was raging I couldn't find it. But it is on eBay. And it is $79.99 on eBay. So the exact same one. It's a Pro Black Makeup Rolling Case Artist Cosmetic Trolley Organizer Box. That's like a long word. But the brand is like UNHO, if you wanted to kind of browse and have a look. But they do have it on eBay. So I did check and they have it there. But I don't know why I couldn't find it on Amazon. So yeah, £80 on eBay. Which, to be honest, bargain if you're asking me, like, with all the compartments you get and all the storage it brings with it. And I love how you have all your little individual boxes, like, to kind of store everything in. So it's good. What I take with me, I'll kind of go show you step by step, like what I take is like kind of essentials when I'm doing makeup. Obviously, I wouldn't say that you have to take as much as this. Obviously, because if you're on more of a budget, then you can just kind of take like what you would usually use. I'm going to start off with like kind of like skin prep and stuff like that, and then obviously I showed you the Garnier Micellar Water wipes that I have with me, but I also use the micellar water to remove any excess makeup or like any fallout from under the eye, and I have like obviously my cotton pads as well with that, so I take that with me. Moisturizer, so I have 3 moisturizers in here, and that's like unnecessary. You could just take 1 moisturizer. It just depends like kind of what skin you're working with, but to be honest, like you could kind of work with your primers more than anything, but I do take sometimes like a more of a really thick moisturizer if someone's got more like dry skin, and then I take like a lighter moisturizer if they've got oily skin. One of my favourites is the Body Shop Vitamin E Moisture Cream. I love this moisturiser. I feel like it's great on kind of all skin types, to be honest. Like if someone's got more like combination skin, like this is a really good moisturiser, and I feel like it just works great with everyone. So that's actually probably a good one to purchase like for your kit. And then also a more thick moisturiser is the Aloe Moisturising Lotion. This is from the skincare company Forever Living, and I'm almost out of it, like it's basically gone. But this is a really rich moisturiser that I feel like is great for dry skin. And I also, this is something I've just been using and it's actually really affordable. It's a Naturally Radiant 2-in-1 moisturiser and serum, and this was from Superdrug. But this smells amazing and it's actually really, really nice and like nourishing on the skin. So that's one that I kind of carry with me as well, just to kind of prep the skin. But again, you didn't need to have the moisturiser, that is unnecessary. But I would have one that kind of works for all skin types, so that is a good kind of bet if you're looking to just like grab something for your kit, which works for everyone in my opinion. I carry with me as my like base spray the Iconic London Prep Set Glow. So this is lovely before and after makeup. The only thing that does annoy me about this, like if you're spraying after you put makeup on, this can sometimes leave little like spurts of like wet blobs like on your face, which drives me insane because I feel like it can sometimes ruin the makeup because it leaves a big blob. But before makeup I love this, and I feel like it gives like a nice glow, and also I spray it all over my chest if I'm going out as well. I love that. I always feel like that's a nice little addition to take with you in your kit. But again, not a necessity. Okay, so the product I was just about to show you, it has broke and squirted all over my makeup kit. Which is ideal, what you're wanting to go for. My Nars one. Anywho, I'm just going to ignore that and get on with the video. But this is another product that I love, which is a Super Radiant Booster by Nars. And this is a beautiful product to kind of illuminate the skin before you put foundation on. I wouldn't say this is like a primer. I feel like it just adds like a beautiful glow to the skin. It's nice if you've not got any makeup on either. I feel like it's like a beautiful product to use. But I'm going to have to put that in a bag or something because it's squirting everywhere. And a few of the primers I have with me. Oh wait, I've got another couple moisturisers to show you. So these are not like, these are just like kind of little samples I've been carrying with me in my kit, and I took them over to the wedding, and these are the two ones that I actually used on all the bridesmaids because I've just been loving them. And obviously I got these samples and they just smell like cake. It's fantastic. Right, so they're both Glam Glow, and the first one is a Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturiser, and this is in the shade Nude Glow. So it's just like a little sample pot, but you actually get so much in this, and it's beautiful. And it, like, see when you say it, like it leaves a glow, like it leaves a glow. And even when you put your foundation on top, sometimes like other like glow moisturisers, you don't see them like the glow anymore, and like I feel like you can still really see this through the foundation and stuff as well. So I used that on the girls that had kind of like dry to like combination skin. Thought that was a really, really good product. And so I'm definitely going to purchase like the full sizable for these when they run out. And I've also got the Glam Glow Volcasmic Matte Glow Moisturiser. So this is a more mattifying one. So this is the mattifying one, which is a more like a thicker consistency. And this doesn't leave a glow to your skin, but this does kind of like counteract any oil or anything on someone's skin. So for your oily little people out there, this is a really good one. And then for primers, I've got 3 with me. Again, for primers, I would say have probably 2. Have a mattifying primer and a hydrating primer. Like those, like if you're kind of wanting to keep your kit limited and you're not wanting to take your whole collection with you if you're going out to travel to do makeup, then I would take 2. The ones I have with me are the NYX Hydra Touch Hydration Primer, which I love. I feel like this is great for dry skin. A lovely primer. I like this, and it's like a really good like affordable product. And then for the more oily gals and the combination kind of oily T-zone, like the Fenty Soft Matte Primer is amazing. I fell in love with this, by the way. I didn't even like start using it that long ago. I'm sure I used it in my first impressions, and ever since I've been using it on my clients, and everyone seems to love it. Their makeup's been lasting well, and I've been using this like before I go out, and I think it's just class. Like I don't know where I've been but I have been using this all the time since I've purchased it. And also, I love this product, the Porefessional by Benefit. I always take this with me. I feel like this is like a product that's quite hated like in the makeup world. I feel like you either love it or you hate it, but I love it. And if someone's got big pores, then I feel like this really, really does a good job at filling them, like in my experience. The people I've used it on, I feel like it makes a beautiful soft like texture like under their eyes and in their T-zone area. Like if you've got more mature skin, I feel like sometimes you can get quite porous like chin area. And I feel like this does an amazing job at filling it. So I feel like that's a really good one to have in your kit at like smoothing out skin. And then of course got my setting spray. So the Holy Grail kind of Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I always take this with me and I always use it. I feel like it's just great at keeping makeup on all night. And I would always use that like after a makeup application. So my next little bag I have here is my foundations. So these are just kind of my foundations that I've got here for like travelling out, and the ones I had with me like from my kit. So bearing in mind I have like about like 100 foundations like at the salon, but for when I'm travelling out I always like really get specific kind of details about like the people's skin that I'm going to be working on, their skin like their skin tone, everything like that. So I always ask like what kind of complexion the clients I've got that I'm going to be doing. The clients that I've just recently done that I've got my kind of kit for, they were kind of like tan, they all kind of were going to have spray tan, so it was kind of like your more like medium to tan skin, like your darker kind of skin. So obviously the kind of range of foundations I've got with me are all of my kind of medium kind of tones, and then I do have my dark and light mixers. So I've not got any I've not like got like a lot of pale foundations with me, or I've not got a lot of like darker foundations, just because I don't want to take them if I'm not going to use them. So I feel like it's just unnecessary to carry all that weight. So it's always good to kind of specify and chat with your client beforehand, just to make sure you're taking the right kind of like variation of shades with you. And then I do take my little Illamasqua mixers. These are more on the pricier side, so they're kind of like £33 each. But you do obviously get lighter ones. I've heard the NYX and I've heard the Makeup Revolution drops are really good for changing the colour of your foundation and stuff without actually affecting the consistency. So for instance, obviously this is just like a lifesaver for me, because say if I really wanted to use this foundation but it was like just that touch too dark, I could just drop a little bit of this in, mix it together, and boom, it's like the right colour. So the variation of foundations I have with me are just a mix from like Nars Sheer Glow, the Nars Natural Radiant, and the Illamasqua. So these are kind of like three of my favourite foundations right now, and I just kind of, because I've done trials with all the bridal party, I knew like what kind of look they were after and what foundations they loved, so I've got them with me. For instance, like I do have foundations some in the salon that are like more full coverage, like the Urban Decay All Nighter and stuff like that, but I knew they weren't going to like that, so I didn't take that with me. So basically if you work out with your client beforehand like all the kind of like range of colours you're going to need, then like it's not really going to be a problem when you get there, because if someone comes that's like really light, or like really fair, or really like got a darker complexion, then you're going to be like, oh well, obviously this wasn't discussed beforehand. So just make sure that you're aware like who's going to be there and who's going to be getting their makeup done, so you can be prepared, because there would be nothing worse if you didn't know and then you only took like a small range of foundation colours, because then it's going to look bad on your behalf. So I would make sure that you're just like are aware like who you're going to be doing makeup on, and then you can kind of start from there. So the next kind of bit I've got here is all of my face products, like my bronzers, blushers and highlighters. I will start with my bronzers I have with me, and I just kind of stick to the ones that I know that I use often and I grab often from my kit that are like, I don't know, I just know the ones I grab quite a lot. So I've got my Hoola Original and my Hoola Caramel, and these are amazing. Obviously your Hoola Original is slightly lighter and slightly cooler than your Hoola Caramel. Both are beautiful, and I knew the kind of tones I was working on, so these were going to work perfect for me. And I also have these two Revolution bronzers, which are my favourites for blending out the contour. So this one is probably the one I reach for the most, which does look quite dark, but it's actually beautiful on the skin and blends like butter. This is a matte base powder in the shade P13, and the lighter one is P5. This is great for blending out your like lighter contour, for instance, and giving like a bronze without it. This never looks orange or anything like that on fairer skin, so that's a great colour. And yeah, like these products are really underrated, I think, and great for like blending out your contour shades. So those are the ones I have with me. And then for blusher, I have 4 little ones here. So the one I kind of reached for the most, and especially used the most for the bridal party I had, because it was a really like glowy kind of, I don't know, it was just like, they really love like the beautiful kind of pink shimmery bronzer blusher. So it was the Bobbi Brown Wild Rose blusher, which is amazing. So it kind of looks like that. I know this is like all minging because it's been used so much, but this is like a kind of shimmer brick, and it has so many different tones through it, and this just looks unreal like on the cheeks as blusher. So I took that with me, and I also took Spring Sheen by MAC, that little bad boy that's been used and abused, and Illamasqua Lover, which is like a really nice peachy pink. This is a beautiful colour, and they're really pigmented and last for ages, the Illamasqua blushers, so I really like using those. And I also love the Estee Lauder, and it's a limited edition all over shimmer, that's what it's called. And it's kind of this shade. So this is a kind of darker, like mauvier blusher, which is beautiful on more mature skin. I just love that blusher, and it's got a shimmer through it as well, which I think is always nice. And then for highlighter, I have the Jouer Rose Quartz Powder Highlighter. And I always take the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold with me en route to a wedding. I feel like this is just a kind of staple product in my kit that I use for weddings. It's a great little highlighter. And I took the Violet Voss Pro palette with me as well, because it has a few kind of shades, and it's just a really handy like palette to carry about when you're doing that. So the next thing I have is setting powders for the face. So again, I would say like even take like 2 with you if you're kind of like limiting yourself for space and stuff. But I did take quite a few because I just wasn't sure, and I always like overpack. But one of my favourites is the Illamasqua loose powder, and this is just the translucent shade, so it's like LP010, and it's a really good powder, especially for like setting someone's T-zone if it's quite oily. This is like a really good product to lock it in place. So I've got another loose powder with me, and this is the Kat Von D Lock It Golden powder, so it's called like the Powder Illuminator, and this is like a kind of banana shade, so it's very yellow, but this is beautiful under the eyes. It's a very brightening powder. The one I reached for the most was the Nars Translucent Crystallized powder. So it's like that. Obviously very white, so at first it can be quite scary. But this was the one I reached for the most during the wedding, because I feel like it's just like a beautiful powder, and it never looks like thick or cakey or makes the foundation look like, I don't know, too matte or anything like that. But it really does kind of set it in place well. And then the other one I've got is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro powder in the shade Golden Nude, which is fantastic. I love this powder. It's quite like a darker one, but I feel like this is just great. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It works very well. It never looks thick or cakey, and it's just a really good setting powder and very underrated, I think. And another one of my new faves is the e.l.f. powder. I need to get a few different shades of this one, because obviously this is one I've been using on myself, but I did take this with me and I did use it as well, because this is actually just fantastic. And I've noticed that out of some of like the more higher end powders that I've been using, that this keeps my makeup on so much longer. And it's fantastic. Like, I feel like if you haven't got your hands on this, you really need to go and get it, because it's great. So next I've got my little palettes that the ones I've been taking with me. So I have a few here. I only have 4 that I took with me, which are the ones like I always kind of reach for. The Kaylee Sosu Urban Bible palette is the one that I kind of reach for like a lot, especially for your brown shades here. Like really good neutral colours, and great for like your just general smoky eyes that everybody asks for. So I was definitely like taking that with me. I've also got this Nude Tude palette by The Balm, which is like a massive throwback. But I do actually reach for this quite a bit, because it has like, again, like a really good highlight shade here, good browns, and it has a really nice silver here. I feel like it's really hard to find silver eyeshadows on a palette, and silver's like not really my favourite kind of go-to colour, but it's really difficult nowadays to find like a silver pressed eyeshadow in a palette. And also the black, this is a really good black, and the Violet Voss Pro palette, which I love. I always take this to weddings with me. I feel like this is like one of the most reached for palettes. These are beautiful kind of inner corner highlighter shades. You've got your lovely kind of transition colours and really nice kind of browns, and all of these like rose gold colours are very popular when you're doing weddings, and they're like very asked for. And the James Charles Morphe palette, I love this, and I always take this with me because it has such a range obviously of colours in it. Yeah, and like obviously you've got like your oranges, your warms, your blacks, your white. You've got all different colours. Like, if you take this with you and someone asks for a colour, like, it's going to be on here. So it's a really good palette to have with you. And it's got a couple nice, like, kind of transition browns and like your cooler tint of colours as well. So now I'm going to go on to concealers. The ones I take with me are the Nars Natural Radiant Creamy Concealer. That's a great one. And that's a very nice luxurious concealer as well. It's lovely for like weddings and stuff like that. But like an oldie goldie that I love is the Collection 2000 concealer that I always carry with me as well. The Nip and Fab, you know already that this is like one of my favourite concealers. Great for an eye base as well, but it's a really nice full coverage concealer. I always kind of take that with me. And the All Night Long concealer by Barry M, the full coverage one, is phenomenal. I've been loving that recently, and that's a really nice concealer. So I kind of take a few shades of all of these concealers with me. And for eye bases, I have the P. Louise base. So obviously you know like what kind of tones you're going to be working on people. So I take like a few shades of the P. Louise base with me as an eye base, which is great. I take the Cream Pigment in Hollow by Illamasqua, one of my favourites. This is just class. Like I always say it's good like on my channel, but it's like something that's not really spoke about, which is like a really, really good eye base. And yeah, it's in the shade Hollow. That's the one that I use quite a lot. And also Painterly Paint Bot by MAC. I take that with me as well as an eye base. It's really good. And the other concealer that I forgot to mention was the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I love that one. So it's a little kind of potted concealer. I always take that with me. For eyebrows, I take a couple pomades. So I usually take the shades Ebony, Chocolate and Blonde from the Makeup Revolution pomades. I take those with me because they're like a kind of, it's a few variations of different shades. And yeah, I take them and I love those pomades. So those are like my favourite ones ever, so I always take them with me. And the NYX Micro Brow Pencils, take those because obviously you never know if someone's going to want a lighter, fluffier brow, so I always be sure to take some pencils with me as well because I feel like I'll work better with those if someone's wanting a lighter brow. For eyeliner, I always take my trusty Maybelline gel liner, the long lasting one, and I feel like this is fantastic. And then I have a little bag of like pigments and stuff. So depending, obviously beforehand it would be good to ask like what kind of look your clients are going for and stuff. If you know they're all going to go for rose gold and they're all going to go for or brown smoked with gold, then why are you going to take like pink and green and blue pigments and stuff like that? Like it's just unnecessary. So I would always recommend just taking the ones you need. But if you're not quite sure, it's best to take a few different shades of like popular ones just in case people change their mind. So I always take my wee pigment drops that help me to stick the pigments down on the eyes a bit better without having like extreme fallout and stuff. And then I've got my pigments. So the ones I took with me to the wedding were kind of all of these. So I've got two from the P. Louise Makeup Academy. I've got Hint of Desire, which is a beautiful rose gold. And I also took a more pinkier one because I knew the colour of the bridesmaid dresses and stuff, so I knew that they were going to be going for, the bridesmaids were going to be going for these tinted tones. So I did take a few of the peaches and cream rose gold ones as well. I took She's All That. I took Luxe and Peached, which are beautiful rose gold shades, like more pinkier tones. And then I took a few different ones just in case people change their mind. So I took a darker bronzier gold in the shade Dynamite. I took Gatsby, which is a trusted really popular shade, and Disco, which is a sparkly silver. So I took a few of those just in case there would be to any like changes of mind or anything like that. And then I took my little NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, the white one, because it's really nice, and the waterline under there to brighten up the eye, especially for wedding makeup and stuff. Okay, so the next little bit I've got, also they have like mini compartments as well. So obviously all the ones, they have the 4 kind of bigger compartments for your like more like bulkier products and stuff like that. But they also have 2 little smaller ones that like fit in the side, which is great. And they're good for like holding like your smaller things like your lipsticks and things like that. So my little one I've got here is all my kind of eyelashes and eye products. So to start with, always carry these with me, which are like your disposable mascara ones, and you get these for really cheap on Amazon, so I would really recommend you having these in your kit, obviously for hygiene purposes, for using like your mascaras and stuff. So I always have these with me. And then I have my mascaras. So the ones I usually take with me is this Kiko Extra Sculpt Volume Mascara, the Laura Geller Drama Lash, and the Waterproof Great Lash Maybelline, and the Big Black Great Lash by Maybelline. I take those with me usually and just kind of mix between what I'm feeling. And then I take my trusty little dual glue, obviously to stick on my eyelashes, and I always remember to take a pair of scissors with me to trim my eyelashes. If you forget these, you've had a nightmare, because obviously not everyone's going to fit the eye shape for the lashes, so it's best to have scissors with you just to trim them, just in case. And then for lashes, I just take a little variation with me. I usually always use the Prima lashes because they're the ones I always go for, but I do actually like the Peaches and Cream lashes for a more natural lash. They're like really good as well. I have a mix in here, and usually I kind of ask before I go who's wearing eyelashes, and then obviously what kind of style they want. Some people want very, very natural, and some people want like ginormous, so it's good to have a rough idea before you go as well, just so you're prepared. Okay, and then lastly for the makeup, I've got all my lip products. So all my kind of variation of lip products in here are nudes, because obviously when I was at the wedding I kind of asked beforehand what kind of products, like what kind of colour they were all going for on the lips, and it was all kind of your pinky and your brownie or nudes and your glossies. So that's what I've got with me. I've got a range of the Peaches and Cream glossies. I've got MAC, Illamasqua, Urban Decay, Anastasia Beverly Hills lipsticks. I do have one from Sephora as well, but I've just got like a range of different shades that I know are really popular ones that people go for, so I just take them with me. I have a few shades of like lip liner and stuff as well. I have mostly MAC, and I have a couple of the Elizabeth Arden lip liners. So it's good to have obviously all your ones with you, and then obviously if you are doing reds, I would take a different variation of reds, and be sure to take your like fuchsia pinks, take a variation of pinks, take purple, take kind of a lot of like darker lipsticks and stuff as well if you're not sure, just because people can change their mind and stuff. And I always take a lip liner sharpener with me as well in my little bit. And then as well I always make sure I take little cotton buds with me, because they're great to like kind of obviously fix any little mistakes you make. Like sometimes mascara can drop under here, or just little bits you have to kind of get rid of. Cotton buds are a lifesaver, so I always carry these with me. Like a necessity is bubble wrap, especially for travelling with makeup and stuff. This is only £1.29 for like 4 metres of bubble wrap, so I would always recommend having bubble wrap with me, because obviously if you've got loads of glass bottles of foundation and your face products and stuff are quite finely milled like powders, like they're genuinely just asking to smash, especially when you're carrying suitcases about, they're going on planes or they're going in cars and stuff and getting flung about. Like the last thing you want is a foundation bottle to smash, especially if it's like what, £35 a bottle. So I would always kind of wrap them. I wouldn't wrap everything, like your lipsticks and stuff don't really matter, your eye pigments and that, but just like your more fragile products I would really recommend wrapping in bubble wrap, especially your eyeshadow palettes. So that's a good necessity to have in your kit as well. I always have kitchen roll and IPA with me, so I have just like a roll of kitchen roll that I carry in my kit, and I have my little spray bottle of IPA. So in between every client I obviously need to clean my brushes, so I take my kitchen roll, I take my IPA, which you can buy off Amazon for like, you can get 5 litres I think for about £17, so it's really, really good. And you just spray it straight onto the kitchen roll, clean your brushes in it, and then you're good to go for your next client. It's a very quick kind of bacteria killer, and it takes all the colour off your brushes, so that's like a really good way of cleaning them in between, because obviously you need them to be fast, and you need to be like fast paced going after each client, so it's great. And with me as well, I always take in my kit, I just take chewing gum. That's just another little thing that I always kind of carry with me. And I take my little brush pot, so this is just from IKEA, and I hold all my brushes in this, so when I set up I have this just sitting like on my little desk where I'm working, and then every time my brush is dirty I pop it in there, and then I know which ones to clean when it comes to the end, which is just a lot easier than rummaging through all your brush belt and like panicking, wondering what ones are clean and what ones are not. So I always recommend having a little brush pot. And then also I always carry these with me, which is another cleanliness thing that I just like to be polite. I take surface wipes, just because obviously I don't know where I'm going to be working, and I don't want to leave anyone's house or anyone's hotel or just anywhere I'm working. I don't want to leave a mess, so I take these with me, and then once I'm done and cleared up all my makeup, I just give everything a wipe over just to make sure that I've not made too much of a mess or anything like that. And then lastly, this is the last thing that I take, so I always kind of carry a lot of plastic bags with me. Usually, obviously, because I have everything kind of separated into sections here, but when I was away travelling, obviously I couldn't take this huge suitcase inside my other suitcase with my holiday clothes and stuff as well, so it's good to have a lot of like plastic bags. So I literally have all these spares sitting about, like all these plastic bags that I separate my products into. So these, obviously I have like this, and say like I can put all my eye pigments in here, roll up, separate it, so when it comes to decanting my makeup, like in the morning, I can just be like, right, that's my eye pigments, that's my lipsticks, that's my this, that's my that, so that I'm like prepared. I feel like I just kind of like a preparation thing for me that just makes me feel less stressed in the morning of doing someone's makeup. So it's good to have all plastic bags ready to kind of separate your makeup and have it all as like just like as neat as possible and kept together as best as possible. And that's literally it. And all you need apart from that is your cell and your, like, I would really recommend taking a ring light as well, if you're going travelling, working somewhere, or obviously if you're just wanting to kind of keep your makeup like all clean and like sorted and stuff like that. But yeah, but this is like obviously the best thing out of the lot. That's like the most helpful thing to me. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was quite an asked for one. I feel like quite a lot of the girls on my Instagram that did ask me were kind of little, like more like aspiring MUAs and stuff like that, and even people that are starting out doing makeup. There's like so many girls starting out doing makeup nowadays, it's amazing. There's like, it's like a really popular thing nowadays. It's like the business is booming basically. So I did have a lot of girls that are kind of starting out that were asking me, like, best ways to take my makeup to travel and to go to people and stuff, because obviously there's quite a lot of makeup artists that are just mobile makeup artists that don't actually work in a salon. So it's good to always just have like, be prepared and have all your stuff ready to go. So yeah, I hope that was helpful and you enjoyed it. So any recommendations for any other videos, please let me know. I've kind of got a big list that I'm kind of working through now that you've all asked me to do, so I'm kind of just kind of work through those, and hopefully you're all enjoying them and stuff like that. But I do hope that was helpful. It was kind of just like a chit chat, more like formative video. But yeah, I enjoyed it, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye!